Comics-related madness presents Enter the Cromniverse, an anthology featuring the little green dude with a bat.
Yeah, listen, it's me, Crom, the world's first real-life internet troll. So there's a whole gang of creators making an anthology starring yours truly. We're talking 15 creators, 13 stories, another 8 folks creating merchandise, all for your entertainment. Indiegogo is the place you want to go to back this glorious project. This anthology features my lovable self crossing over in today's best independent comic books and graphic novels, causing chaos everywhere I go. In addition, we're going to be offering custom painted shoes, black light tapestries, sketch cards, alternate covers, adorable crocheted mini-me's, original art, and sculptures.
Anyway, back at today, only on Indiegogo.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a classic hero in a high-flying, fast-paced, and action-packed steampunk adventure. The original Skyman battles the Master of Steam with an introduction by comics icon and historian Roy Thomas. A Rising Tide, an Ace Comics publication. Available now in print or digital format on Amazon.com.
The original intention of the film was just for my personal use, but I thought with it being such a unique thing that I'd like to offer it to anybody who wants to see it. On the first visit, Jack took us into his another room, a separate room, and there were these brown parcels full of artwork piled up, and he said to me, "You draw like I do." We were in the studio for 5 hours, you know, it was fantastic, and there's this, he's got this desk, and everything he's ever drawn has come from this desk, and then I would just go with the flow, and that's what this film is about. It's just a unique film of him.
He says, I beat you. He says, they say we came in under the dead heat. He says, that's not true because I beat you. And the American said, well, he says, if you like to think so, he says, but I know the real story. He says, I know I clearly won that one. See? Well, Joe is 6'3", and I was a run, see, from the Lower East Side. And being Joe's partner was an advantage to me because Joe was believable, you know, they would talk to Joe, and the Goodman brothers would get to know him. Martin Goodman owned Marvel at that time. He went to his mother and he says, look, Jackie got a job drawing. He says, they're paying him part, they're paying him money for drawing. He says, suppose I go with Jackie. He says, and he said, they'll pay me money. He says, I'll draw and they'll pay me money. He said, I'll give the money to you, which we did. We gave it all to our mothers. They called me from Nassau. You know, I lived in Long Island. And they say, would you like to come down and draw these guys in training? I swear, this is not a story. And I said, yes, of course, I'd love to come down.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
In a world ravaged by monsters, a new evil has risen, poisoning the land and threatening humanity. Now, the Monster Matador, along with the meanest and baddest kaiju killers, have joined forces to kick its ass. Monster Matador, Afropocalypse.
Nothing unusual about a 4 a.m. call to a back alley in downtown Kenton. A young woman lying pristine and unmarked on the cold, hard ground. I get to work quickly, but there's not much to go on here. No marks of any kind, no signs of struggle, just a dead Vic in the middle of an alley. And then there's that. Dead body in a dumpster that looks like a grizzly bear has crawled its way out of his stomach.
The madness
Comic Network and Comic-Related Madness proudly presents Comic-Related Unboxings from the Madness. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
Hey, yo, what's up? What's up?
Happening?
What's going on, Paul? How you doing, brother?
Good, good. It's great to see you, Pops. It's always good to see you.
You know what's up. We got a little package in the mail.
Yeah, man.
Another one of those comic-related unboxings. And this is the third time I've had you on one of these, Paul. So
I'm telling you.
So how you doing? Tell everybody a little bit about what you got going on. Oh,
Man.
dude, hold up. Let me start with, I saw a post where you showed a table over at MegaCon where even though you're not there, your books are for sale there.
Yeah.
Most excellent.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've got such great fans, and also I'm with Comic Crusaders. I'm co-hosting one or two shows a week, and so they had some at the Comic Crusaders where Al Mega was out there, giving away some prizes and showing some of the books around. But also I had a person who invested into one of the ad tiers to my comic, and he was in one of the comics, so he had like a stack of comics himself that he took out there. So it wasn't just in one spot. I think it was actually in 3 different spots, and I was like, that's awesome. I mean, I wasn't there, but it was still represented.
Get your books out there, get them sold everywhere you can, bro.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about. If I ever get to the point where I can set up a Madness table at the cons, I'll definitely be making it available for all you to sell your books on my table.
Yeah, man. I love sending you books, even if it's, just to hand them out to some of your viewers or for you to keep yourself. And, like you said, you don't exactly review that many books, but whenever you reviewed PTSD for me, man, I appreciated it so much.
Well, it's not something as a promoter. It's not a good angle, especially if it's not a good book. Right. I try to stay away from reviews because my job is getting eyes on what you do.
Yeah.
People buy it or not. That's not up to them and their taste, or I mean, that's not. We just try to make it and put it out there where people can see it.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people that do reviews.
Yeah.
They don't need another reviewer. They need more promoters, bro. They need more eyes on their stuff.
And it's great to have those 2 different categories, because if you are promoting it, you're more likely going to be saying, hey, it's great, it's great, it's great, it's great. But they have those 2 different facets. Whenever you're promoting it, you throw it out there and let everybody that you can see it. And usually the people who are reviewing are a little bit more critical than not.
Well, most of them hopefully are actually industry people. Like, I'm not an artist. I'm not a writer. I don't feel like I have the credential to tell anybody anything other than what I like.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It doesn't have anything to do with story structure or any of that. It's like either I liked it or I didn't. And that's kind of, I mean, you'll get I loved it. You'll get a best freaking book I read this month. Right. You'll get, stuff like that. But I don't go out there and try to dissect people's work. I'm not deep enough into the industry to feel like I have the credential to do that.
And whenever Comic Crusaders kind of came to me, they were looking for a writer to kind of see and kind of talk about that side of the story. So if you actually spot me on Comic Crusaders, I am actually I don't want to say criticizing, more reviewing and giving my opinion on the structure of the writing and whatnot. So that is a little bit 2 different things. We also have Thank Indie, which we do show a Kickstarter and an Indiegogo, and also webtoons, and we talk about what they have on there, but we don't exactly criticize them. We just show them off a little bit to promote them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah,
That's what
man.
I mean. Getting eyes up, especially the newer people or the people that don't have the huge
Yeah.
fan base yet or the backing. People don't know about them. And like, look, you just popped on the scene 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and it's
And
like I got 3 books from you now.
I'm telling
Okay,
you,
so
and then you asked me what was going on. Let me tell you, man, it has been crazy. So after Cryptic Haze kind of went to Kickstarter and kind of came off, I was kind of waiting for the books to come in before I started anything, and then all of a sudden, I've got like 3 or 4 projects going on right now, and I'm juggling them, trying to fulfill. And man, I got books coming down. Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait for more from Paul. This stuff is always good. Everything that he's sent me has been amazing, and it's all arrived like this in good condition.
Now, I don't know if my son's in the backstage or not. He was saying he was trying to get in. No?
I don't see him.
Did you click on anything? No. Are you trying? Just right now, yeah. Oh, he's trying now. I need to switch
my name. For those of you who don't know Paul's son cosplays one of his characters from one of his books, and he does it well.
Yes. And we're going to be out there at Fan Expo in less than a month, and he's going to be out there cosplaying it up for everybody, and we're actually working on a little musical kind of thing just to show off, if to attract a crowd.
Fan Expo Dallas.
Yeah.
What's up, Max? Mr. Max DeVille. We'll be talking about him on Sunday or on Monday at on the Madness, because we're gonna do a little pre-launch show for him.
Awesome.
Here we go. Here's the magical youngster right there. What's up?
There he is.
It's the ringmaster himself.
Just not in the costume today.
Oh, look at it. Another one.
Watch out.
I think I'm supposed to send this one to Rich, right?
Well, I was going to send it to him, but I don't have his address.
Yeah, I think I'm supposed to make sure Rich gets this. I'll do that. I will do that. See that, Rich? We love you, bro. I'm taking care of you. But this is the one.
Yeah.
This is the one, yo. Same now look, same cover artist.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not embigging myself and show this off because this is amazing. Same cover artist. 2 different books. But are those beautiful covers or what?
Beautiful covers by Jeff Muse. And he's actually working on a project of his own. He's actually working on a graphic novel that might be coming out in the next few months from Red 5, as a matter of fact.
You're going to have to keep me up to date. Make sure we get to promote that. You know what's up. I see we got some goodies in the back of this too.
Yeah, some of the stretch goals and a few extras. Yeah, definitely.
There's some goodies. What do we got here? It looks like we got cards and bookmarks. Yes.
And while he's showing the cards off, why don't you show him the other covers that we have along with that, Dylan?
Okay.
Those cards are holographic cards as well. You can kind of see that. Beautiful cards.
Oh, hold up. What do you got down there? What's going on? Oh,
those
the
are
other
some
covers.
of the variant covers. That's the one by Aaron Williamson. I mean, that's a great homage to that great movie Memento. And then Brian Clegg's, that was actually a Facebook exclusive. We only printed a certain amount, and the ones that didn't get bought either went to him or to anyone who that was involved with it. So those ain't going to be printed in that fashion anymore. And that San Espina, he's actually the artist inside, and you can tell his beautiful artwork is just amazing.
There's a glare. And last but not least.
And of course, Jeff Mute's beautiful A cover with that mind's eye right there in the middle is just amazing.
It's killer. It's all killer stuff.
Yeah.
It was a hard choice between this and the other Jeff cover, but man, I had to have the other Jeff cover. Dude.
Right.
That's like a sweet set right there.
It definitely is. I mean, especially getting them at that price with that first 48 hours thing.
Yeah. $10, yo, for both of them.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was, right? $10 for both of them. Yeah. don't go to sleep on Paul. Be ready when his campaign launches because y'all
Yeah, that next campaign, we're gonna have a lot more goodies. Like you said, I just came on the scene about 6 months ago, so I'm hitting the ground running, but I'm still learning a lot, especially whenever it comes to campaigning and throwing out those goodies. That first campaign, I didn't know anything about any of the stretch goals or whatnot, and here we are with beautiful hologram cards and bookmarkers and plenty of stuff.
that first campaign though. Bushi, what?
PTSD.
Yeah, PTSD was the first one, and then
Yeah. Bushy
Bushi
Boo
Boo.
Circus.
And then
Okay,
Cryptic Haze.
Bushi Boo was killer, but Max wants to know what this is about.
Cryptic Haze. It's kind of a roller coaster ride. It's about a guy who kind of is devastated by a divorce with his wife, and he has an option to learn mind control. And what the book really entails is what he does with that mind control and what effects come from it. But there's also a few twists and turns in there. It really is my version of a thriller that makes you think all the way to the end. It was a homage that I wanted to pay to Batman's The Killing Joke. So whenever I say it's a roller coaster ride, whenever you think you have it figured out, it kind of just switches on you.
So
Yeah.
basically, what I loved it, like the Sons of Anarchy, the way you get those episodes where you'd watch the whole episode and then the last 15 seconds they'd slap you in the side of the head with something you didn't see coming.
And you're like, what? What
And
happened
you're
here?
like, now I gotta wait till another week to see what's gonna happen with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love comics that end that way because it really gets people, builds the anticipation for the next book.
Right.
You know,
And it leaves you wondering, how did we get here? And I've already read or been to from the beginning to the end of the story, and it's like it makes you think. And that's what I wanted to do with this. I wanted to show my range of writing. Of course, whenever I wrote PTSD, that was more of a cautionary tale, and I wanted to talk about mental illness and awareness kind of thing. And then Bushy Boo Circus was more of an entertainment Scooby Doo meets Criminal Minds kind of gang figuring out mysteries and whatnot. But this Cryptic Haze, I really wanted it to be a mind thriller kind of thing.
and I get to find out.
Yeah.
And you'll get my private review.
Awesome, because I'm looking for reviews right now. I tell you what, Pops, my main goal at the present moment is trying to get into New York Comic Con.
It's gonna be fun.
And they don't exactly take just everyone or the first come first serve. They're looking for unique people, and this is one of the reasons that I was saying, I wanted to make sure that my writing was different, especially from itself, and that you could see my range, and I want to make sure that they understand that. So hopefully they invite me to that Comic-Con in October.
How do you apply to that? Do you send them like a video or?
Well, I believe the first steps are like most Comic Cons. You fill out the application, and then they start reviewing you and checking out your web pages and places you've been and whatnot. So
Right.
I don't know exactly how they choose from there.
Let me throw a suggestion at you for that website, Paul.
Yeah.
You need the ringmaster right here to do a video talking all three books.
Yeah, right.
For the whole, for the production company, for the publishing company, not just Bushy Boo, but as that character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Showing off everything, definitely.
With your banners behind him and everything, so it's just like you're set up at the con. I would set up a good video, and then when they're looking at your website, that's the first thing they're going to see.
Yeah,
is one of your characters represented and shilling the rest of your stuff, right?
Definitely.
That's what they're looking for presentation too. They don't want just any old clown show setup table, right? They want something that looks good, that's going to draw the eye.
And like I said, me and my son are going to be working on a musical number to kind of just throw a little bit extra out there, so it bring that attention. I mean, first we were working on a speech, but now that he's got that down, we're like taking it a step further and maybe singing a little bit.
Good.
Yeah, thanks to my choir, he
Presentation.
thought of the idea.
Are you having fun, Dylan?
Yeah.
But
Just
it's all
wait.
about-
After this, he's gonna torture me.
I don't know. I think you're gonna grow into this, brother. You're gonna end up being a lot like your dad. You know, it's just how it is, man. That's how things work out. I can remember my mom telling me when I was little, "You walk just like him. You talk just like him." I never met him till he was 20, till I was 25.
Oh wow.
You know, but genetics tells you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it guides the way for a lot of stuff. Yeah, and Dylan's like following in my footsteps. Whenever he jumps into that costume, he plays that out, and we go back and forth with it and have fun with it.
Yes.
And that's the main thing. Is like we're having fun. We're doing something that we love, and something that like puts us together. That was the main reason that I started in my comic career. It was because I wanted to motivate them, build up their morale, and that's what it's been doing.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Um, I like seeing your character come to life also in your son, but he's going to take the character over. I'm just going to let you know.
Right?
As he lives in that suit and plays that character, he's going to develop that character even more for
Right.
you. You're going to see traits in him. You're going to add them to the story. You're going to go, "Oh, shit, that was good. That was, I'm adding that." You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, definitely.
it's great if you have somebody that can play your character out all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude,
And especially at the fact that Dylan enjoys it so much.
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. He's into it, so that makes it like you get to bounce stuff off him and tell him get in character so I can try this with you.
Yeah.
You know, and he can just like add stuff to it, ad lib, and you're gonna see, like I said, he's gonna be messing around. You're gonna see stuff, and you're gonna be, oh shit, that was good. I'm serious. You're gonna be writing stuff down. You're gonna be adding stuff that he brings to that story because he's gonna live that part for, hours at a time at cons, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's been to 3 cons. I can't remember, Dylan.
2 with you, 1 as a volunteer.
Yeah, and so 2 of them, he was up there for the whole entire weekend dressed up as that character and going out there meeting people and talking and stuff and selling books, and he was having a blast. Yeah, and then it was great because I could be like, hey, this is a character I modeled after my son, and here's my son.
Great. And he loves doing it. That just brings everything to it. And you have other munchkins that are involved in these things too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Including his twin brother. And then my littlest one is 6 years old. He kind of just runs around and
hitting people,
jumps into things, but he definitely is an inspiration for a lot of it, especially the name. So, I mean, like I said, it was a family thing that we really wanted to build the morale, and it has.
Dude, that's wonderful. Family thing, got the kids involved. Dude, I can't ask for anything more. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. I'll keep supporting the hell out of you. You know what's up.
And let me tell you, like I said, we got about 3 or 4 more projects that we're working on right now, including the first project that we're working on is Bushibu Issue 2.
It's gonna be amazing.
Then we got another one that we're working with San Espina, which if you love his beautiful art, you're going to love that one as well. I got hired for another script to write a script for a gentleman, which he wanted to do something with wrestling. So that's going to be coming out. I mean, it's just been a whirlwind of comics.
Can we talk about that at all or not yet?
Sure. Yeah, we could talk about all of the projects that we got going. Of course, like I said, Bushibu 2.
What's up with that?
A gentleman came and approached me. He said he wanted to do a video game, and he was thinking about putting a comic book together to kind of build up the crowd for the video game. And he was like, he didn't know how to write a comic or what entailed. So I started talking to him about it, and he said, if you can project manage this, let's do it. He wanted me to write the script, and I've written 2 pages that I'm going to show him this week, and we're going to just hit the ground running. We've actually started looking at artists, and it's in the beginning processes. I think in about a week or so, we'll have our team together, and it's just going to start coming together as well.
Sweet.
Yeah, and Bushibu Issue 2 is It's on 6 pages already, and we've hit the ground running with that as well.
Paul also wrote a story for the Cromniverse anthology.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know it now.
And I also got another 6-page story that I just wrote, and I'm gonna put out in like a little ash can. It's actually the first romantic story that I wrote. Which, like I said, I try to make my writing range a little bit different so you could see that I'm not just a one-trick kind of pony. And of course, if you've read PTSD, that's a whole lot different than Bushibu Circus Mystery or Cryptic Haze.
That was one of the things that I was selling Bushibu on, was that it was so much different than what you did the first time.
Yeah.
You know, and that you had range, and it's like, check out this guy's range. He went from dark and depressing to, oh, this is fun. And you know, and it's like here we are back somewhere in the middle.
Yes, with the thriller, it's kind of somewhere in the middle. I definitely wanted to go back towards that area, but not exactly. Whenever I did PTSD, that was a one shot to kind of show that I could do one solid comic book. And then Bushibu Circus is the one that me and my kids kind of put together. It's, whenever it gets finished, will be a 12-issue series, and then Cryptic Haze is going to be actually a three issue. So it was like I wanted to do a little bit of everything again to show that I could.
So when's the superhero coming, Paul?
Dylan, would you like to talk about that one?
Yeah, go ahead, talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about that?
You can talk about it. The one that we had, the idea that we had.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can go talk about it. I'm kind of, it was a while ago.
So we all sat down and brainstormed a whole bunch of ideas, about 10 or 20 ideas, and one of those ideas actually was a superhero story. Very unique, very different than anything I've ever heard of. And this really was compliments of the kids. I mean, because at first we were kind of like, let's do this, let's do that. And I was like, I've heard of that. I've heard of this. Well, we got to find something different. And we brainstormed for a day on this subject alone. And they came up with this idea that was just way out of left field.
Good.
I do plan on doing a superhero story one day. But right now I'm focused on Bushibu and Prelude. And of course, this wrestling story is kind of a unique twist that I'm working on as well.
Paul, let the kids do an ash can about the superhero. Add it to the campaign.
That should happen.
Kids did it.
That should happen. Of course, I mean, at the moment, what I'm thinking on my next campaign on that Bushibu issue 2 is giving an ash can of the romantic story. Maybe an ash can of the Cromniverse story, if I get permission to do that.
Yeah.
And then maybe an ash can of another story that I have in the background that's already been done for someone else. So again, I do plan on doing a superhero story, especially the one that they have outlined out, but it's going to be a while.
That's all right. Just remember, we don't have forever. You're pushing them out fast. Keep pushing them out fast, man.
I'm trying.
Look, nobody's going to forget your name if you're coming out with a new book every 2 months, bro.
Right.
Nobody's going to forget your name. Keep freaking rocking. Like, y'all don't know, man. 3 books, the first 2 were excellent, totally different, style of book. The third one, I'll find out, but
I'm eager to hear your opinion because like I said, it is different than the other 2.
Yeah, well, I like your writing style. You keep me in the story. I didn't see anything in the first 2 books that pulled me out of the story.
Yeah.
And people have to understand how important that is.
Yeah.
Okay. You can be cruising along in a story that's really good, and then they'll say something really cringe, and you'll be like, oh. Yeah. And you're out of the story, right? It's like you keep the story, it just flows, it's fun, it's happy. The first one wasn't fun and happy, but the second one was.
Yeah.
But they've all been good. Nothing, like I said, errors like grammatical errors or spelling errors or stuff like that. Nothing like that in your books. And that's the stuff that really takes me out of a story.
Right. And
I
like
see
I said, I've
misspelled
dealt with
words.
dyslexia all my life. So, one of the main things that I did whenever I first started this career was I wanted to make sure I had great
Mhm.
editors that could help back me up where my flaws were. You know,
There you go. Call every
every other, but
romance.
I'll
That's
take
it.
it. Yeah.
That's it. That could stick too. That could stick.
And man, I'm trying to get them out there because I love doing them. My kids loving helping me along with them. The conventions I have put on the back burner, but now I'm trying, like I said, Dallas Fan Expo. I'm trying to campaign to get into New York. So if anyone out there knows how to get into New York, let me know. But I also have 2 other conventions coming up in October and December after that as well. So
Well, I got ends with the Grand Rapids Comic Con in Michigan. Just saying.
yeah, all right.
I know we can get you in there anytime. He does that show twice a year, so spring and
Sound,
fall. So
sounds good. We'll definitely look it up soon because we
dude,
try to do a few around here and then maybe one a little bit further out, a few more
well, it's
around
not
here.
the biggest,
Right.
but it's a good show. I mean, Eric Hodgson, Scott Rosenma, those guys are all there. It's like it's a good show. We have a good time.
And I tell a lot of people, especially, other artists and whatnot, I'm not looking for the biggest. I'm looking to get out there because I do need to pay my dues. And I know I'm only 6, 7 months into the career here. I understand, I've been at store signings where there wasn't anybody that really came because they didn't know me. And I understand that. My job is to promote myself everywhere I can, whether they do
Mhm.
know me or don't know me. So I love going to any conventions. It's just a matter of cost,
Right.
and obviously I'm trying to get into New York because I want to try to get into at least one huge one.
That'd be sweet. And
Yeah,
especially when you got, like I said, when you got a table full of stuff you can talk about.
yeah,
Um, Now, if you do get into New York, you branch out to a few of your local Texas friends that ain't going, and you get a stack of their books to put on your table
yeah,
too.
definitely. I
You
mean,
know,
I
the
try to
more you have
represent
on the
everyone I
table,
can.
the more you draw their eye. More people coming to look and see what you got.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
as a matter of fact, one of my last Kickstarters, I went to a few of my local indie publishers, and I was like, "Hey, if you want to put your book as an add-on, you're more than welcome to." I try to include everyone I can. One of the great guys around here is Fred Keel. I know
yep,
you've interviewed him once or with his Queen Cobra. He's a
yep.
great guy. He's helped me out, and I try to help him out as much as I can. Of course, Charter Comics, they have their indie line, which is about 10 comics out there, and I try to include them in everything I do.
There's a bunch of cool ass people down there in Texas.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
Manny and you got Manny, you got Andrew. Oh, come on, Gabriel
yeah,
Mangum. You got
yeah. Oh,
you got
yeah.
you got a solid team down there, man. It's
There's
cool.
tons of great artists, tons of great comic creators. Sam Vera, I think,
Yep.
from Catch the Craze is right down
Beauty,
here. Yeah,
beauty.
yeah. I mean, so it's like I try to include people that I can and try to, promote them as well because I know that as hard it is for me to be promoting, I know that it's hard for them to promote as well. So it's like,
Everybody can't get to every con. That's why you
yeah,
guys got to work together. Um, like I know I can only hit my local cons, right?
right.
That's I don't have travel funding. It's,
Yeah,
it's the local ones. I
right,
got a friend that makes sure I get to the local ones and I go. Um, as I get bigger, I'm definitely looking at setting up a madness table and maybe doing some of the other cons as things come together. But I'm 2 years into this. I'm just
yeah,
like you, Paul. I'm new. They don't know. There ain't a whole lot of people know who I am in the larger scheme of things.
right,
I mean, yeah, I got a group with 2,500 people, but I know groups with 10,000 and 20,000 and 30,000, and they don't know me,
right.
so you just keep plugging. You
And
just
the
keep
thing
plugging,
about it is, you do
you
got to
know.
pay your dues. I never expected to be a breakaway star on my first, second, third book. I do plan on putting about 2 or 3 more books out in the next few months, and I don't expect them to hit huge. But
I want
I do
Bushi to
expect.
do really good because I got that Star Wars cover.
But I mean, I do expect to go out there and promote myself and try my best to let everybody know, hey, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm
There you
trying to
go.
make some great stories for everybody to be entertained by, and I'm gonna make as many as I can, and my kids are gonna help me.
Yeah, they are. They're going to take over. See, they're going to take over when you're gone. See,
Yeah,
and this is something that every man loves to know that he's left some kind of a legacy, no matter how big or small. That there's something that his kids can go, hey, my dad did that. Now
exactly.
I'm doing it too. You love legacy stories.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that your wrestling book. I don't know. Is it based on real wrestlers or?
No, it's actually a little bit outside, but it incorporates a lot of the stuff that has
Okay,
happened in the
okay,
past.
okay.
So
Cool.
it's one of those things.
No, I mean, there's a lot of different wrestling books. There's like the Kilted Avenger, the Roddy Piper book.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
there's a lot where he's like a detective. There's a lot of different things. I've read some wrestling books that have to do with the actual what's going on backstage
Mhm.
in smaller indie wrestling circuits, and it's real stuff. It's I love all that. And John Crowther, there's a bunch of people that do solid wrestling books. So I'm looking forward to any kind of crossover like that. It's
Oh,
it's a
and
great
I'm a
medium
huge
for
fan.
crossing over with.
I'm a huge fan whenever he approached me and said this is kind of his idea and he had like a backstory and I was like, this is great. This is one of the things that's missing out of most wrestling stories, and I wanted to incorporate a few other ideas that I had into it as well to make it a little bit more different than most. Because one thing I don't want to do is just put out another story that's been out there 100 times.
Right.
And I understand that everybody says that they're trying to do different, but the main thing is if you can do something that you've never heard of, then at least you're starting off on a good foot.
Now that doesn't mean somebody didn't hear of something similar somewhere down the road
Right.
somewhere else, but
Right.
at least at least you're writing it like you never heard of this.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, because Cryptic Haze, like I tell people, to me it was a homage to the Killing Joke. I love the Killing Joke, but I wasn't going to write the Killing Joke. I was going to write something that was similar, but a little bit different.
Probably a lot different. Probably a lot different. I'm looking forward to reading it. The stack's only about yay high, so I should get to it in a month or so.
No problem.
You know what I'm saying? It's golf weather.
Yeah.
It's not sit at home and read comic weather right now, so it's only rainy days.
Right? I understand that.
Oh man, had a good time this weekend, and
Yeah.
next weekend, I'll be in this chair the whole time. And
Yeah.
you'll be here.
Yes, I will.
And you'll be here, right? CromCon, dressed up, Dylan, ready to go, right? The ringmaster, baby. Bring it to CromCon. Show everybody what we talk about. That's what I do. Presentation is everything, my friend. Paul, it's always great to see you, man. And, I like to keep these unboxings short, but
yes, sir.
Check it out now. Cryptic Haze, the Jeff Muth cover.
Before we leave, though, Pops, I have to ask you to do one thing.
Sure.
I have to ask you to open that up for me.
Okay.
He's worried now.
Now, I don't know.
He's going to make me touch it. I know.
I don't know if anyone or everyone knows about this, but being the creator and writer, usually you get to dedicate a book and give special thanks out to people that have helped and encouraged your career. And if you open up that first page and look on that credits page.
Shit, I see my name on there. I'm just going to hold it up so everybody can read it, because I'm not going to butcher anybody else's names. But let's see, what do we got there? Oh, I better biggin it, huh? We'll biggin it. All right. As you can see, we have dedicated to Travis
Travis
Noakes.
Noakes.
And special thanks to Michael Hansen and
Michael Henson, that's yes.
Pops. Man.
Michael Henson is actually a comic creator as well. His is Disputed Territories, and he's also the maker of the Comic Shield. But again, I wanted to do a special thanks to you, Pops, because
Dude.
I do feel that you helped me out and not only encouraged me, but guiding me. It's kind of a mind-bending process, if you will, to get to this point. and you've helped promote me a great deal, and I appreciate it.
Dude, and I always will, man. I got you. You guys rock, man. This is what it's about, having fun and producing a comic book that people are going to enjoy. And first, so far, you're 2 for 2, man. I'm looking forward to reading this one.
Thank you.
You know, and with that, everybody, I'm letting y'all know, doesn't look like the Cromniverse Anthology is going to fund. Okay, this time. Now, we had a funding goal expecting a lot more and the need to print a lot more books. Okay, we also had to be able to pay for everything out of the funding. Okay, so now we have a little better idea of maybe lowering the print run and doing it over with the lower funding goal. Okay, we understand where we made mistakes. Hey, I thought it would do better. I thought it would be bigger. What can I say? You know,
it happens. It happens to the best of us.
Well, I mean, I just thought we had over 100 signups.
Yeah.
We only got 45 backers. I mean, I thought we needed to print more books, and that was the discussion we had before when we built the campaign page.
Right.
Was how many books are we going to need? We were figuring copies of comp books for everybody. We're going to need this many books, so we need to make this much money. Or because I don't have a bank account to go into, just in case we don't have enough money. I don't have anything to back it up.
I understand. It's hard.
It had to be cost effective in the funding, not there. I got nothing to fall back on. So I wasn't gonna. I was making sure everybody was gonna get their books. There was gonna be no doubt. We set a funding goal that covered shipping, fulfillment through RJ, everything, right? Okay, well, now we know. We don't need quite that many books. We'll launch it again.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, for the people that wrote Cromniverse stories, you guys can do what you want to do with those stories. I'm not trying to hold anybody back from anything. Anything that you got, you want to go out there, show, sell, promote, whatever. That's what that's why I did it, right? That was the whole purpose. It was a promotional deal. It was a way to get eyes on everybody's IPs. So by all means you can use them. I'm not, I mean, that's what it's about, guys. I don't mind that Crom gets a little love too. So if it works the other way and you guys are putting those stories in your books, at least they're getting seen. That's what I'm trying to do, right? So by all means, man, do whatever you want with it. Hopefully we get to launch it again real soon. We like I said, we'll adjust the funding goal, stuff like that, and we'll get to launch it again real soon. So don't give up on it. Just
don't give up.
Allow us to readjust for overestimating its popularity.
Right.
That's all we did. We just overestimated what we would need, and we'll fix that and we'll do it again. All right. Everybody cool?
Yeah. Of course, I'm always here to help. Maybe I could throw in some signed versions of my books, add on to that. I'm always here for you because you've been there for me.
Well, that's the whole purpose. It's getting people to see what you're doing. I love what you do. Like you said, what did he say there? Paul, every other month, Gomez. It's great to see you. It's great to see you, Dylan. Like I said, next time I see you, I want to see you dressed up, brother, ready to go. Right? Now he's gonna ditch CromCon. Watch. All right, Paul, tell them where they can find you, brother.
I'm Paul Gomez. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as Paul Gomez 790. Of course, you can find me on Charter Comics site. My books are there to sell as well. The next campaign should be hidden in August or September. Of course, you can always find me on Comics Crusader, Think Indie, and Thundercats co-hosting. That's where I'm at.
All right, cool. Dylan? He's like, I ain't telling people where they can find him. They can find him at Paul's house.
You can probably find my stuff off my dad's stuff. Find his following. Find all my stuff.
There you go. That's how you do it. I'm following him.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a great night. I'm gonna take us out of here with a comic books for kids commercial, like I always do. You know what's up. Go check out Comic Books for Kids. Paul, you had one of them tears, didn't you?
Not this time. Next time for sure.
Boochie Boo, right? You're gonna have a Comic Books for Kids too?
Yes.
This is how we do it, yo. Peace.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.